Hey everyone, welcome to this summary of Horizon 4's update 27. Now the live stream was a special one this time because it is almost Horizon 4's second anniversary. So they did a bunch of cool stuff, a lot of interviews with some big names, and a few big things coming to Forza Horizon 4 as well. So let's go ahead and jump right into the series playlist and then talk about some of the new content they're adding. Alright, so for overall completion rewards in Series 27, 50% gets you the Renault Megane and 80% the ATS GT. Then moving right into summer, 50% gets you the Rimac Concept 2 and 80% the Apollo IE. Not even going to bother pronouncing that name again. And then we get a new car, probably the most exciting one, at least for me. The number 64 Nissan 370Z, you should recognize that as Chris Forsberg's Formula Drift car. So that is now in game, and there's more to show about that car soon, so we'll get back to that. Let's move into autumn though, where you get another Formula D car at 50% completion, and another chance to get the Toyota 2000 GT at 80%. And then we have another very exciting car, the Lexus RCF from the season event. So this is another new one. There's a couple Lexuses here. I kind of thought they were done adding Toyotas to the game, but it looks like they're not. They just took a little break. So that should make a lot of people pretty excited. Moving into winter here, you can get the Lamborghini Huracan Performante at 50% and Ferrari 250 GT at 80%. And then spring gets us our second Lexus at 50%, the ISF, and the Maserati 8 CTF at 80%. And then another new car as well, although it's not really that new, the Toyota GT86 will be coming to the game. Pretty much just the BRZ, but I know there's a lot of people that'll still be excited to have the Toyota edition of that car in the game. So that is it for the series playlist. We've got 4 new cars here, 3 of which are Toyotas and 1 is a Formula Drift car. So that is a win in my book. Let's go ahead and move on to a new game mode that they are adding for Horizon 4 that I know a lot of you guys are going to be excited about. Alright, so there is a new online game mode called the Drag Run, and essentially what it is set up very similar to Online Adventure, but for drag racing. So what you do is you go to any of the drag strips in the game, and it boots you into what sounds like just kind of a constantly running lobby, where you'll do 3 races in one class, and then jump right into 3 more races in another randomized class. So there's going to be no loading, you'll always stay at the drag strip that you booted up in is what it sounds like, and it should just be really easy to access and quick drag racing in pretty much any class in the game. So I know drag racers are going to be pretty excited to actually have some online competitive drag racing. However, I think there are some serious issues with this. Similarly to Online Adventure, there are no restrictions outside of class. So there's no drivetrain restrictions, no cylinder restrictions, no nothing. And with drag racing, I'm not going to say it's super simple, but it comes down a lot less to driver ability and more to the car's setup. So at the end of the day, I feel like everyone's just going to be able to pick one car, the one car that is fastest in, S2, S1, so on and so forth. And everyone's just going to be running that. If you're not, it's pretty much an instant loss. So obviously a good manual clutch driver should beat out somebody with an automatic transmission. And if you can maybe get a bit more grip on launch, that should help you. But I just feel like this is falling so short of the potential, because if there's no restriction outside of class, everyone's just going to be running all-wheel drive swapped, V12 madness. And that won't be very fun. So hopefully we do see some more restrictions. Maybe they just didn't talk about it, or maybe it'll be added soon. Either way, I personally feel like this is just going to be dead in the water if class is the only restriction, because it's all just going to boil down to everyone using one car. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I'm misunderstanding it. Let me know if you guys do have any more information that I happen to miss. And let me know if you think maybe I'm in the wrong. I actually do not do drag racing that much, but it is kind of my understanding that for each class there's more or less one meta car. So let me know what you guys think, and let's go ahead and touch on Chris Forsberg's 370Z again, because they actually pulled Chris Forsberg in for an interview. And if you're into Formula Drift or drifting at all, you definitely know who this guy is, and you should watch the interview. It was very interesting, kind of gave his history into how he got into drifting, how long he's been doing it. He is seriously an OG in the US drifting scene. And he also gave a quick kind of run through of his garage. You know, he was doing the live stream in his garage, and he was asked to kind of show around some of his cars, and he has some very, very cool cars just in his personal garage. So go ahead and check that out if you're at all interested in it. And then let's go ahead and move on to just a couple other things they talked about during this live stream. So I love stats, and every now and then Playground Games makes these nice little infographics that are just kind of little stat dumps on the game. So since this was the year 2 anniversary stream, they gave us a little stat sheet of kind of different random things in the game, and it was actually pretty interesting. For one, there are only 174 players who have maxed out the 1,000 car garage, which I thought would be a much, much higher number. I mean, personally, I'm still kind of sitting at that 750 number, and maybe it's a bit of a skewed stat because they did only recently bump it up to 1,000. So for people to get 250 extra cars so soon, all right, maybe that was a bit of a skewed stat, but still only 174 people out of the however many hundreds of thousands that are still playing the game. That is kind of crazy to me, especially considering how many people wanted that increased garage limit. And now that makes me really curious how many people were at that 750 limit before they upped it to 1,000. So moving forward, they did actually do another interview with Joseph Newgarden, an IndyCar racer. Now, this is not really something I follow. I actually didn't know who this guy was. Feel kind of bad about that, but I would assume that is piquing some of your guys' interests. So they did give him a pretty good interview, and if you're interested in it, go check it out. And with that, guys, that was really all there was to it. They did do another pretty cool interview with a charity called Special Effect that helps people with physical disabilities pretty much just get into video games and, you know, find them peripherals that will work for them. And that was actually super, super neat. I know Xbox came out with their adaptive controller a while back, and that was a pretty cool move on that part. And this leaned into that a little bit, but it shared a couple stories from different people that were, you know, able to play games like Horizon 4 with these special controllers. So that was pretty cool to see. And really, guys, that is just about all there is to it. It was, again, a very long live stream. This one was almost 2 hours, and they usually run only about a half hour. And there was just a lot of kind of interesting stuff, you know, look back montages at the past year of Horizon 4 and those interviews. They actually did a couple more interviews with some of the devs, but, you know, there wasn't any new info in that or anything. So if you want, you can obviously watch those. But that should just about do it for this summary. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be my 100th upload to this channel. So I'm doing something a little bit special with one of the new cars in this update. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.